So we have our old fashioned, and I'm here with Kenny Florian, mixed martial arts extraordinaire. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Thanks very much. Well, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little about kind of your background, your career?
You know, I used to watch a lot of boxing growing up.
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of kung fu movies.
Yeah,
and Bruce Lee was
Sure,
a huge.
absolutely.
I mean, he really was probably the guy who inspired me to get into the martial arts. You know, watching Bruce Lee movies with my brothers. And about my freshman, maybe sophomore year at Boston College, I started training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I saw the first UFC. And saw this skinny Brazilian guy beating up these monsters, and that was really the first time I saw the martial arts really do what it said it could do, and that was the little guy could beat the big guy.
Yeah.
And I was just very inspired by that, and started training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Me and my brother Keith, we saved up money, and we drove to a seminar in New York and trained with Royce himself.
Oh, nice.
And and then it was pretty much just from there on, we trained every single day. So
what can fans, of Ken Flo have on the radar? What's going on in your world right now?
Oh, geez. Well, right now things are kind of on hold. I just started training again. I tore my MCL, tore a little piece of the meniscus in my knee, so I'm just getting back into it. Another 2 or 3 weeks, I should be back to training fully. But I try to do as much that involves the sport as possible. You know, I have a show for with the ESPN that we do called MMA Live.
Yeah, I love it.
And so I'm an analyst for that show. Staying busy with that. We're actually going to UFC 126 to do a pre-show and a post wrap-up show for the event. So it's exciting. I definitely can still keep myself busy even though I'm not training 100%. But I miss it. I can't wait to go back and start training again.
And you and Dana did a lot in bringing mixed martial arts to Boston. I mean, thank you. From all of us. What was that process like? I mean, I know that there must have been a lot of hurdles to jump over. I know New York's going through it right now. Yeah,
you know what? I think the key for getting mixed martial arts regulated in the States, like it comes down to really educating the government, educating the masses on what the sport's all about. You know, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about the sport.
Yeah, Frank Shamrock described it as like cockfighting.
Yeah, exactly. People think it's a blood sport, and it really isn't. You know, these are educated guys who've been training the majority of their lives, and they definitely, when you see an event, it gives you a whole new perspective on the sport, and getting to meet the fighters, you see that they're normal guys.
I think having you and Stephan Bonner and Randy Couture and a lot of these really educated guys out there, speaking about how it's a competitive sport. It's not just like a street fight.
Exactly, and that definitely helps. And I think getting the government officials and to really understand that, I think is very, very important.
And you seem like a real chill dude, like real relaxed, calm. Do you? Were you that guy that got in a lot of street fights growing up? I mean, were there? I didn't think so, right?
No. I mean, I came from like a rich small town in Dover, so it's like. Not much really happened over there. You're gonna fight like a cow or a horse, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So what about like fan interaction? I mean, a lot of what the promotion and the social media side that's involved with the UFC. Yeah. I think I mean, I'm a huge fan myself. And then the online offline angle of social media and what you use. Can you speak a little bit about that? How you.
What makes the UFC I think so popular today, and really what got it to really take off is. It's that interaction with fans. The fighters are always out there. They're always out and about. You can go and even before a fight or after the fight, see a fighter right here, ask them questions. Again, for me, I like doing that stuff. And of course, we spoke about Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter. I'm very active, with my Facebook. My website, kennyflorian.com has a lot of information. I try to have a lot of questions on there. I have a lot of videos on there for people who are interested in the sport, who want to get more information. I have a newsletter that goes out to the people who sign up on my website, and that's a cool thing. You're not going to go up to your favorite Major League Baseball player, your favorite NBA player, or NFL player and have that interaction with them before the game or after the game. Back in maybe the 60s and 70s, maybe you had that, but
definitely more distance.
That's gone, and I think fans want to interact with their athletes, and I think that creates a bond, and they'll be a fan for life because of that. And I think we've been lucky in that regard. And
there's a little talk on Twitter recently about possible move to 145. Is there any truth to that? Or
no. As of right now, no. I'm not sure I can make that. 155 is tough as it is right now, but you never know. But Yeah, I was kind of playing around with that idea. I'll joke around on Twitter all the time.
And what about like cutting weight? That must be absolutely grueling, dude.
Yeah, it's really difficult. You know, it takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm
too many of these.
Yeah, you can't have too many of these. You know, it's a delicate balance because you need a lot of calories to train well.
Yeah.
You know, it's a grueling training schedule, but you also need to lose the weight. So it's
any advice on like how to
tough.
Lose his man boob?
You know what it is,
dude? I don't know. I used to be kind of cut, but not anymore.
The funny thing is, a lot of it is diet. You know, like a lot of it is diet. Like, you know, one thing, if I'm not able to train, I'll try to like, you know, eat super well.
Yeah.
But it's tough, man. It really is tough, and especially, you know, people invite you out to eat.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, and then you see the bread there, and then you got to get dessert after. Oh, yeah, bread's not.
Then I have pretty wicked sharp elbows. You know, I mean, you can check them out.
Let's see these.
Not bad, right?
It's not bad.
Dude,
it's
I
a
can
good
cut
weapon.
somebody. Can you show me like a Hellbow demonstration?
Let's do it. Yeah. You know, the great thing about the elbow is that the reason why it's such a good move is you could do it from just close quarters, you know, and the great thing is, you know, with your hands, it's easy to break your hands.
Sure.
And actually, Uriah Faber in one of his famous fights
broke
both of his hands, and actually the only thing he could use was elbows, which I thought was really, really cool. But a bunch of ways to use it.
Sure.
You could use it as something to knock someone out with. You could use it to cut them. So there's various ways to use them, but. Let's see, we'll do just your basic elbow. So I'm a southpaw, so I'm a left-handed fighter. So from here, my left elbow will be back. So say you're in close quarters, you don't want to use it from too far away. But the big misconception about elbows, you don't really want to have a huge swing.
Telegraph it.
Yeah, exactly. And oftentimes you'll miss with it. So you kind of want to throw it short. So I'm here, you want to use your hips and just this way.
Yep.
Bah. So when you're in here, you kind of just twist your hip here, and you can come here horizontal. You can come upwards. You can come diagonal down. You can even use it as like a striking, you know, tool here. Just exactly. Use that point of the elbow. So there you go. Yeah, you want it not just with the arms, but you want to use your legs and hips as you throw it inside. So you know, let's say someone's inside here. Boom, and you just use it. There you go. You're an expert now.
Absolutely. That's fun.
I have a T-shirt for you, man. They got a
the official tap out.
Official tap out Florian shirt. A lot of
awesome. Thank you.
A lot of American flag going on here.
Very cool. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kenny.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
It's great having you.
Thanks
for the grind. Thanks for being in the mix.